wait! I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. But the power was off. I see. So you heard a voice saying the time on the tape program. Mr. Wright may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Found the body and I heard... Well, you said you heard, not saw. Yes, heard. All I saw was the body lying there. I didn't think to look at anything else, least of all my watch. Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something, but if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't have heard anything at all.
The witness did say he actually heard the time. It's ludicrous to suggest he wouldn't hear anything.
I'll have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony. There's a voice saying the time probably came from the television. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio?
Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television.
Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television.
The witness has testified he heard the time.
Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? How do you explain the gap? Well, witness, can you explain this? I guess the victim must have been watching a video, tape that was blah blah blah. Video? Yes, that'll explain why the time was wrong. True. Right. I think the problem lies someplace else. We agree that you heard the time at the scene, then. That's why I said it was 1 p.m. Are you sure the voice you heard said it was 1 p.m.? Yes, I can practically hear it now. It was quite clear. Mr. Payne, has the prosecution verified this testimony?
My apologies, Your Honor. I, too, have only just learned that my witness heard the time.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I just remembered it now. Well, you just watch it. Not much point pressing him on that one, was there? Oh, nothing. Notice anything suspicious? Yes. Electricity in the Mrs. Stone building was out from noon to 6 p.m. of the crime. Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Schwitt? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite! Ah! Wait, I remember now! Mr. Schwitt, the court will prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Schwitt. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock on the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon the killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been when I saw what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. I didn't hear the time. I saw it. Yeah, that's a leap. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see how it would be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remember that table clock. A table clock? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Was there? A table clock. Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first time I'm hearing of it. Yeah, the motor weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. The motor weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. That must have been what I saw. Why didn't you tell us this in the first place? I guess I just slipped my mind. I'm not really sure how it happened myself.
The witness says he saw the table clock. End of story.
Now, find the contradiction. I saw it. Table clock saying there. Motor weapon. Must have been what I saw. Actually, oh, okay, I can't just look at them. Oh, but I can still look at them.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. The motor weapon wasn't a clock. It was a statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Schwit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne?
As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the motor weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with the testimony now? Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he... You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder! Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard! Order in the court! Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Schwit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the motor weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face! Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never! Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, Shut up! I hate you! It was him, I tell you! I saw him! He killed her, and he should burn! Give him death! Order in the court, I say!
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defendant's claims.
Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is writing on this. I better think through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Schwit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply examine the clock's batteries, ask the neighbor, try sounding the clock. But sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. Oh, it certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is a singer after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25.
Ah! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Schwitt heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Schwitt, try to chuck your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. What's he talking about now? Well, it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. Oh, he's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it! I was so close. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness, unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Schwitt. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens! You treat me like a criminal! A criminal! You lawyers are all slime! I almost had him! Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now! Not so fast, Mr. Schwitt. Chief, listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow on the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts, assume the clock was 3 hours slow, and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes. Wait! Maybe I can prove it! You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it, and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words! Let's see you pull this one off! Let's see the evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. The victim's passport apparently arrived home from Paris on the 30th, the day before the murder. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast! The victim had reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in the apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Schwitt? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Order, I say! Well, this case has suddenly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness. He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete an offense so quickly, and find the true culprit in the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butz, not guilty. And with that, this court is adjourned! Hooray! We saved Larry! It turns out that Frank Schwitt was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of their houses that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Schwitt let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching a place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Schwitt grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. I still can't believe I won. Right. Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief look like... Other than that, seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over! Larry! You're supposed to be happy! What's wrong now? Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead in God's sake. Good! Wait, no! I mean, bad! Bad, bad, bad! Larry, you're innocent! The case is closed! But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man! It's gone forever! Larry, she was... Never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry butts innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh, no. I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. Present? From me? Wait, wasn't this evidence that... actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't you make me just want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him. Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about?
Take that!
Check this out, Larry. Proof positive, you want just some chump to her. Huh? What about the clock? What about that clock? This is the clock that you made for her, Larry. And you took it with her when she traveled. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it as you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you'll realize things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometimes. Maybe over drinks. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have you. It's good. Yeah, good to have you as a friend. But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay us. Unless you count that clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then. But that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I would never be able to keep.